Hello, I'm Chef Matt from the Roth Living showroom in Kansas City, Missouri. And today we're going to be talking about the first model that Wolf put out of the convection steam oven. And today we're going to cover specifically the mode of auto steam bake. And that sounds very mystical. What's going on with auto steam bake? I can tell you that this is a mode that was designed to mimic what many professional bakeries do out in the market, in that we are using steam injection at the beginning of the mode to allow the bread to oven spring or to blossom or to open the grain. Steam is also inhibiting browning and crisping in the loaf. The result is that we can get some professional bakery quality goods in our own oven at home. I can tell you that my family thoroughly enjoys fresh baked bread. There's nothing better than the smell of fresh baked bread coming out of the oven for dinner or a Sunday brunch. And this allows you to get a beautiful crust on the bread, a very nice open sponge grain to your breads, and the results are just phenomenal. Now, your auto steam bake mode is going to default temperature at 410 degrees. But when we initially wake up that mode, on the third click of the mode button, it's going to give us the ability to go from 210 degrees up to 445. Now, once we have set our temperature, and it really depends on what you're baking. If you're baking some French bread, you're going to tend to lean more towards the upper in 410 to 445 temperatures, because there's no fats or sugars in those classic French breads or sourdoughs. In the fortified breads that have some butter, sugar, milk, cream, things like that, what we refer to as an enriched dough, you might use lower temperatures around 350 to 375. It really all depends on your bread formula. And how did I learn this? Just by playing around and baking a lot of bread. And my family and friends didn't mind all the experimentation to figure out what were the ideal temperatures for that. Long story short on this mode is that if you love to bake, this is just going to be a game changer for you. I can tell you that it makes a beautiful artisanal loaf, cinnamon rolls, scones. You can play around with that steam mode as well. Any of your yeast doughs, rolls included, and baguettes. And past that, also, there's recipes in the cookbook that came with this model for apple pie or apple crisp. And I can tell you they are phenomenal in this oven. Steaming the dough seems kind of odd for a double crust pie or for an apple crisp, but I can tell you the result is snap, crunch, and crisp with beautiful golden brown crisping. So I encourage you to play around with that auto steam bake mode and really find out how it's going to work best for you. Now, when we talk about baking breads, I do encourage you to bake on the solid tray, or if you need a second tray, you can cover the perforated tray with some parchment as well. Bake on those trays that are provided with the oven. They're going to give you the best airflow by allowing that air to completely surround the product and give it the best browning. Now, you're going to bake in the first, second, or third positions of this oven on the auto steam bake. And one last product that I'll talk about that also benefits from that mode is going to be puff pastry. If you like to make palmers, or if you like to do a brie and croûte for a little appetizer before dinner, I encourage you to play around with puff pastry on that mode. You're not going to need to egg wash, and you're going to get a beautiful sheen to that dough, nice, snappy, and brown, and delicious. Okay? Thank you very much for joining us today.